Oh my God, y'all. The tea is scalding hot today. Let me tell you what's happening with Wendy Williams, and trust me, this story will have your jaw on the floor. Word on these streets is that Wendy Williams is finally getting her health back, and she is not holding back. Before anyone can try to silence her again, she's coming for Diddy, and the tea she's spilling, Chile. Now, we've been hearing rumors about Diddy coming after Wendy for a minute, but what we didn't know, and this is where it gets disturbing, is that he allegedly went after her son, Kevin Jr., when he was just 16. Like, who does that? Wendy was the first person brave enough to expose Diddy for being DL, and apparently he never forgot about it.
Why Wendy Williams got fired?
Yes, because she exposed pictures of him having a homosexual affair in Mexico. But she had a website way back then.
I don't feel safe. Clap if you feel safe. Oh.
Now here's what brought all this drama back to the surface. Right after Diddy got arrested, Wendy was one of the few people who had the courage to speak up, and baby, she was celebrating his downfall. And let me tell you something that's giving me chills. Even though Wendy's battling dementia right now, she still remembers everything Diddy did to her and her son. That's how traumatic it was. Like they say, when someone's such a demon that even a dementia patient remembers their evil deeds, that's saying something. In her statement, Wendy said something that had me shook. What is really weird is that I have been told by so many people, Wendy you called it, including some people from my family. And when she talked about that video of Cassie getting hurt, she said it was just horrific and made us think about how many more women might have been victims. But hold on to your wigs because this gets even juicier. Wendy actually tried to warn us about what was happening to Cassie way back when, but none of us caught on.
Africa filming Honey 3. And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And, you know, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them because if you use your head, you never know when they're gonna pop up on the scene. Like he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now, zoom it to South Africa, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, okay? Pay people off at the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like I'm already paranoid. Of Michael Jackson's song, Lady in My Life, and wrote, if anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times. I suggest don't use social media though to reach out. I think this is a grand overture from Puffy. I don't believe he really wants her back. I believe he probably treated her at some particular point like a possession, like a possession. And if you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly.
Did y'all catch how Wendy read that situation like a book? Everything she said about Diddy and Cassie turned out to be true. She knew him better than he knew himself, and honey, that drove him crazy. Let's take it back to 1999. Remember that club incident with Diddy and Jennifer Lopez? The one Shine had to take the fall for? Baby, Wendy was the only one with enough backbone to question Diddy's story. While everyone else was buying what he was selling, Wendy was like, something ain't adding up.
He ran out of the club so fast and got into the waiting SUV that it wasn't until he got into the truck that he realized that he left Jennifer behind, along with his bodyguard, Anthony Wolf. He just like ran. You know, forget it. That's a true sign of an itch bag, by the way. You know, leaving his
I thought it was an unk pay.
Well, eventually, Jennifer and Wolf made their way to the SUV without Puffy.
Right.
They ran 11 lights to elude the cops. Supposedly it was Puffy, although people are saying they saw a female hand tossing a the window. And then when the cops stopped them, they found a second gun, of course, in the car.
Right.
All four of the occupants, the driver, the bodyguard, Puffy and Jennifer, were handcuffed and taken down to the precinct. And eventually, Puffy and his bodyguard, Wolf, were overheard talking about their plot to bribe the driver to take the rap for the. And Puffy was overheard saying, and I quote, because the prosecutor said this, "I can't go to jail, I'm Puff Daddy."
He was arrested with a deadly weapon. And making.
Now, this is where things get dark, y'all. People are saying Wendy's issues with Diddy aren't just about her. It's about what he allegedly tried to do to her son Kevin Jr. when he was 16. And Chili, let me tell you about this creepy interview that went viral. The way Wendy's whole demeanor changed when Diddy mentioned meeting her teenage son backstage, the fear in her eyes, I got chills.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
you represent a lot.
Y'all saw how scared Wendy looked? The way Diddy said that felt like a straight-up threat, like he was saying, I know where your son is, so watch your mouth. One person said it perfectly. He was threatening her, shaking my darn head. We all know Wendy told a lot of truths about him, and we all know how Diddy gets down. Now let me spill all the tea about what started this whole mess. Back in the day, while Diddy was at Hot 97 in New York, Wendy got on air and dropped a bomb. She talked about some exclusive photos someone sent her, showing Diddy in Cancun getting... Well, let's just say he wasn't alone and it wasn't with a woman. And unlike other reporters, our girl had receipts. But before she could expose everything, Diddy got shook. He called Hot 97 executives and got her fired right then and there. But that wasn't enough. He threatened every radio station in New York not to hire her. Can you believe the nerve? Poor Wendy had to pack up and move to a whole different state with her son just to find work.
Wendy Williams, she got fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy. So if you don't mind, give me the story from your point of view and what was in the picture?
We were in Cancun. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. Some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like it was gay, something like that. She was gonna put it out. Wendy had shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not gonna get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was gonna boycott their station. We was out in LA for about 3 days before we landed back in New York. Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. She was fired.
Fast forward to 2013 and Wendy finally broke her silence. She spilled that a hip-hop mogul got her fired and blackballed for suggesting he was gay. Now, she didn't say Diddy's name, but Chili, we all know who she was talking about.
The very homosexual era of hip hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now, so.
And get this, Diddy was so pressed, he told all the girl groups from Bad Boy Entertainment to jump Wendy at work. Like, who does that? Thank goodness her boyfriend was there to protect her.
Got off the air one day and them total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like, what, let's fight, because I'm not one of those type of broads. And plus, there was 3 of them. The little Chinese man that drove the van that they were coming. There was no security or anything. It was just them 3 fighting broads. And me. And my co-workers at shot standing upstairs trying to look down to see it all jump off. They all knew. When I said goodnight to everybody, everybody's pressed up against the window. I didn't even walk or bother asking, what are you all looking for? Because you know when the clock strikes, it's time to go. It is time to go. I didn't get a chance to hit the sidewalk before I knew it, out of nowhere. And there's a whole bunch of rah-rah going on outside, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I send Cower and Skell out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says, it's total outside. And they were about to set it on you.
Now, here's where it gets messy. In 2017, everyone thought they'd buried the hatchet when Diddy showed up on the Wendy Williams show. They were laughing, joking about their past beef like it was nothing.
I must say, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I want to just tell you how proud I am of you. Because I don't think you get enough credit for being the first one to really cover our culture, you know, hip-hop culture and also hip-hop celebrities shedding light on our culture and our people, and thank you very much.
Pissed a lot of people off, including you. Mm-hmm. But this is a full circle moment, everybody.
Yes.
Get into adult conversation.
Yeah.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
But plot twist. Turns out that whole interview was just for show. He wanted people to think everything was cool between them so nobody would suspect him when he came for her later. The manipulation of it all. And y'all, my heart is breaking over what's happening to Wendy now. She's been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia. People didn't realize how serious it was until they saw her documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? The exploitation she's facing, it's disgusting. Wendy revealed that strangers are basically controlling her life now, and these people, they're stealing from her left and right. Even the court-appointed financial guardian was playing games with her money, like how low can you go?
Stealing money from me, getting money, whatever the case may be. Enough.
She has people around who are yes people and allowing this to continue.
Questions about my money. Suddenly, Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. And Lori Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. And this guy named Bernie Young, I know for a fact that Bernie Young used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. A former doctor had medical information about me that I never even got. It was sent over to Lori Schiller. I fired the doctor, and again, all I want to know is where is my money? This is not right.
Now listen to this because it's infuriating. Wendy's sister and Kevin Jr. are absolutely devastated that some random stranger is controlling Wendy's entire career and money. But what's even more suspicious is what Kevin Jr. revealed about his mom's condition. The doctor said her illness is getting worse because she's still consuming alcohol, but here's the gag. Wendy can barely walk. So how is she getting these substances? Someone on her team, and I mean someone close to her, is deliberately giving her alcohol knowing it's making her condition worse. The evil of it all.
They basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia.
Y'all, the whole situation is shadier than a palm tree. While we can't say for sure if Diddy actually followed through with his threats against Kevin, people believe he used Kevin as leverage to keep Wendy quiet before eventually silencing her with this illness. The way everything's playing out, it's giving conspiracy. And the comments? Child, people are heated. One person wrote, I hope she gets better and her son finds out what really happened to his mom. Don't back off, kiddo. Your mom needs you. Another one said, her son has a right to sue anyone who's coming in between her relationship with her son. He can change that whole dynamic. Lawyer up, young man. Let me tell you something. Watching Wendy, who was once the queen of spilling tea and telling it like it is, now struggling with her health while all these vultures circle around her, it's heartbreaking. And knowing that some of this might be connected to her speaking out against powerful people in the industry, that's terrifying. The question everyone's asking now is, will Wendy start talking more when she gets better? And if she does, what other secrets might come out? Because let's be real, Wendy knows where all the bodies are buried in this industry. Like, think about it. If she was right about Diddy all those years ago, what else does she know? And is that why certain people seem so invested in keeping her quiet? The way these powerful men in the industry protect each other and silence anyone who threatens to expose them, it's giving mob boss energy. But one thing's for sure, Wendy Williams might be down right now, but counting her out would be a mistake. Because even with everything she's going through, she still managed to celebrate Diddy's downfall. That's the kind of resilience you can't buy. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do y'all think Diddy's really behind Wendy's current situation? And more importantly, do you think Wendy will come back stronger and spill even more tea? Because honey, if she does, some people in this industry better start packing their bags. And don't forget to click through to watch this other messy video. Trust me, the tea is just as hot.